You'd think being poor means spending less money, less stuff, less spending, simple math. But here's the uncomfortable truth almost nobody says out loud. Being poor is often the most expensive way to live. Not because poor people are bad with money, because the entire system is quietly built to charge them more. For the exact same things everyone else gets cheaper. This is called the poverty tax, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. My name is Jack. If you've ever felt like you're working twice as hard just to stay in the same place, this one's for you. Let's start with the most obvious example, banking. If you have $10,000 sitting in a checking account, banks fall over themselves to give you a free account. No minimum balance fees, maybe even a bonus for opening it. But if you can only keep $50 in your account, you get hit with monthly maintenance fees. Overdraft charges that can run $30 or $35 per incident. And minimum balance penalties, punishing you, specifically for not having enough money. The bank isn't charging you more because you're a bigger risk. They're charging you more because you have less leverage to walk away. Now let's talk about credit. If you have good credit, which usually means you already have money and stability, you get approved for low-interest loans, premium credit cards with cash back, and mortgage rates in the 6% range. If your credit is bad, often because of exactly the kind of financial instability that comes with being poor, you get payday loans charging 300% to 400% annual interest, subprime auto loans at double the standard rate, and rent-to-own furniture, deals that can cost 3 or 4 times the retail price by the time you've paid it off. The exact same washing machine costs a rich person $600 cash and a poor person $1,800 in installments. Same appliance, wildly different price, based entirely on how much cushion you started with. Then there's the bulk buying trap. A case of toilet paper, a large bag of rice. Rich people buy in bulk, a giant tub of laundry detergent. And the per unit cost is dramatically cheaper. But bulk buying requires upfront cash. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, you can't drop $40 today to save $15 over the next 3 months. You buy the small bottle, the single roll, the tiny bag, at the highest per unit price the store offers. Simply because that's all your cash flow allows in the moment. Poverty forces you to buy in the most expensive way possible, one small purchase at a time. Housing works the same way. Renters, who are disproportionately lower income, often pay more per month for less stability than homeowners. Because they're not building equity, they're subject to rent increases. And they usually need a security deposit plus first and last month's rent just to move in. A lump sum that can be genuinely impossible to save while also paying current rent. Meanwhile, homeownership, which builds long-term wealth, is gated behind exactly the kind of savings that poverty makes it hardest to accumulate. Even car ownership follows this pattern. If you can't afford a reliable used car outright, you finance an older vehicle at a higher interest rate. It breaks down more often, and each repair pulls you further behind, sometimes costing more in a year of repairs than a slightly newer, more reliable car would have cost in total. But you couldn't access that better car in the first place because it required more cash up front that you didn't have. This is the pattern across almost every category. The poverty tax isn't one single fee. It's dozens of small, compounding penalties for not having enough cushion to access the cheaper option in the first place. Overdraft fees, payday loan interest, rent-to-own markups, bulk buying exclusion, higher auto loan rates. It adds up to thousands of dollars a year. Money that isn't being spent on luxuries. It's being spent just to survive at a higher price than everyone else pays for the same survival. So what actually breaks this cycle? It's not one dramatic move. It's building even a small buffer, enough cash to buy in bulk once, enough credit history to avoid a payday loan once, enough savings to avoid one overdraft fee. Each small cushion doesn't just save you money once. It removes you from an entire pricing tier designed for people who have no other option. If this opened your eyes to something you hadn't thought about before, hit subscribe, drop a like, and tell me in the comments, which version of the poverty tax has hit you the hardest?